So the idea was to try the same system with different players. We lost, but the question is, did the system work? Hello and welcome to Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs Football Club. And in this video, we will be reacting to the Macufe Cup lost against Royal AM. It seems like Royal AM has us in their pocket. Funny thing though is that if Chiefs had won this game, people would be saying, oh, it's just Macufe Cup. But since Chiefs lost this game, it's like, Macufe Cup. But yeah, that's besides the point. I have 6 points here and I will talk about those things. So the first thing is the starting lineup. If you're looking at the starting lineup, you have aboutThe at left back, you have Frosla back at right back because he's been injured. And then you had uDuba, which I was happy with because Umdu was playing with the MDC team. And then you have Ungobo, Happy and Unang as well. And it's good. It's actually a good squad that can play very well if my tactics are right. But I was happy to see that, but it was interesting to me, Uguti, how were they going to go forward and what was their plan when they get to the final third. And the first thing that I noticed, point number 2, is that Uzwane might have a problem with aboutThe because what I saw with him, Uguti, he looks dangerous as a left back more than Uhlanti, because when he gets the ball onto his stride, gets the ball on his left, then he starts moving. He can play a 1-2, then he moves. And if you watch the match in the first half especially, all our attacks were just coming down the left, down the left, down the left. A combine with the midfielders, maybe 8, adlala 1-2, then we see a mash, then we see a runner. So I think Zwane will be faced with a decision. Uguti, does he stick with Uhlanti, who has been in a very good form, if we're being honest. He's been in a good form, playing that left back position, has been solid defensively. But now, if you have someone who can give you more going forward, then what do you do? Because the whole point of this match was to then try and experiment and see what other combinations can work. And now I think that's the first problem. That's one I will have Uguti. Now aboutThe a performer as well with left back. And I know to me it would seem easy then to say probably then if he needs a left-footed centre back, he could just stick Uhlanti in there because Uhlanti also solves the problem. Some people are complaining aboutThe which is short. So maybe if you're willing to change a left back into a left-footed centre back, then you can do it with Uhlanti, who we see ukuthi usolid emumva and he also has that aerial ability, and then you can have aboutThe playing on the left, or alternatively just rotate between Uhlanti and aboutThe. So that's why I'm saying he will have a problem with that because he will have to think about that. By the way, what did you think of the game aboutThe? Ningitshele down on the comment section below. Number 3, rushed attacks. Yabona, we've been talking about this over and over again this season because there are 2 things that happen when you do the thing, your Grashama attack. One, it's that it's self-inflicted because sometimes while you're trying to rush the ball, kumele kube ne-movement, kumele kube ne-extreme understanding. And if you don't have that, which we saw happening today, and we've also been seeing it, have seen it with the other guys who have been playing together. Kunabo bebadlala lama pass la 1-2, and it doesn't work because you need to be very quick and they must be done with so much precision. And because of that, there are so many turnovers of position because we keep on trying to You can't always do that. That can be your alternative. Good, okay, we start by keeping position, play the ball around, pass the ball sideways, and then just move the opponent around, give them to move to the left, move to the right. And there was a point where they're doing that because, let me just address this. Sometimes people hate on passing the ball sideways, but sometimes passing the ball sideways can help stretch the opponent because while they're going this way, they are shifting, and then you pass the ball again, and then maybe you can switch with a quick diagonal or with a quick 1-2, then you overlap, then all of a sudden the opponent has a problem. So since we're not executing that well enough, then we have a problem. And the second problem that you have with trying to play those quick 1-2s is that sometimes the opponent just closes Lauma space in midfield, but overload the midfield, and then now Senazip is Ogmelu go Lauma 1-2, and then now you have a problem. Number 4, then the first sub was Umatoho. I don't know whether this had to do with the fact that he seemed like he got a knock in the first half, because if it has to do with that, then well, it's just an injury thing. But if it has to do with how Zwane is viewing his role with Chiefs, then well, that's that. He might think he should have tried who came in for him. Ungcobo, who I feel bad by the way for, because I feel like Ungcobo has played very okay, good enough this season, but then because he's not left-footed and Uzwane wants a left-footed centre back, then now he has that problem. So I do feel bad for Unjabulo Ngcobo. Yes, and then the next subs were like around the 60th minute, which was good because we're trying to like see an experiment with the other players. And I have a problem here. I counted the subs and there's something that doesn't make sense. So Usamgelo Zwane came in for Cole, 1. Then Hatebe came in for Machine. Yes. Angazi uthi Mahlatsi ungenele bani, because I thought he had come in for Happy Martian, but then bengimbona Happy Martian grounding. So that did not make sense. I don't know, ngizongitshela mhlambe khona isabe ngimisile, because uMahlatsi came in, Umkwena came in for Dove, and then Udube came in for Uduba, because now Uduba seemed like ube ne cramp. And when Udube came in, the system very changed to 3-5-2, and that's where we had a problem, because 3-5-2, we have said this before, I've said this before, Guti, the problem with playing 3 people at the back, then they are left looking around, not knowing Guti who does what. Can maybe about 2, it's clear enough for Guti, the one on the right assist the right back, the one on the left assist the left back, and then balandelana in that order. Makuyi back 3 kwesinye isikhathi lo central akazi noma kumele adonseka ayofaka pressure, which by the way it should be done by the one closest to the ball, and then bamove belandelane in that order. But it just did not work, and it leads me to my next point, number 5, ukuthi when we had to play that offside trap, we just couldn't play offside trap, and then and then Udube was just there looking and thinking the player was offside, and it wasn't offside, and then we considered a goal. By the way, consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't, and if you are enjoying this video, please also like it. So then we consider a goal, Hamilton scores, and yeah, that's that. It's just, in a way, I can give them a pass for 2 reasons. One is that it's changed system and nokuthi abadlali ndawonye, but either way they're still professional players who should know how to hold a line mawundlala offside trap, because you check ukuthi who's the last man, and then you align anonke, or the one who's central is the one who's supposed to control the line, ukuthi okay asipusheni or something. And certain teams just do it in a way that it seems like effortless, my bands, but we saw good there was a problem. And then point number 6 is Ukike Ntoli and his goal. It's not just his goal. I feel like Utoli today raised his hand and said, I can perform. And he wasn't playing in the game like it was a friendly. He actually played a brilliant match, and he played pretty well. So props to him for that. And his goal was just, wow, beautiful. It tells you, it shows you, Uguti, how good he is as a player. Now, overall, when it comes to this game and what happened, it underlined the point, Yoguti. You cannot try a system that will depend on a target man knocking the balls down for attacking midfielders with Uduba. Because if Uduba was a tall player, whether he's young or not, if he was a tall player, then the system might have suited him, because we kept on playing crosses. mfishane lo muntu lo, and udlala nabantu abade kunaye, abadala kunaye, abane experience kunaye, who know certain things. So yini singadlala ibhola phansi? We'll have to look at this obviously, because sazodlala namazulu nanani ukuthi why are we not playing ibhola phansi? Manje sijaha ukushaya ama cross kodwa sina umuntu ozoheada lawo mabhola. Manje what we are trying to do is always trying to go forward as quickly as possible, and then we lose the ball and then we have to defend. So overall the match just ended up being disappointing and boring, and yeah, it's just we did not need this. We did not need like this loss, because manje confidence is even lower, and these guys, everyone who came in didn't actually raise their hand and say so dlala except Udoli. So yeah, it was disappointing. Guys, what did you think of the game? Let me know down on the comment section below. I'll see you on the next video, and until next time, remember, equals alphela umoya.